welcome back to my channel. Let's talk the mistakes I made my 1L year of law school. 5% of lawyers are black. Ground, it is okay for you to open up and swallow me now. I wanted to die. It's my portfolio. You see it? You see it? The judge was yelling, the prosecution was yelling, the defense was yelling, like everybody was yelling.
I started mine.
Okay, so I know you guys are probably wondering, Nana, what's happening to you? What's wrong? Are you okay? Why do you not have makeup on your face? Why are your edges not laid? I was gonna do my makeup and then start the video. And then I was like, that's gonna take a lot of time and a lot of work. So why don't I just do my makeup while I'm talking to the people? You feel me? I like to watch people do their makeup and talk. I know some of you might not like to watch people do their makeup and talk. I'm gonna try and be as transparent as possible today as I'm telling you of all the mistakes I made and all the ways I messed up. So hopefully you'll stay for that if it's not for the makeup. I'm not a makeup guru, I'm not a makeup artist. I just like to do my makeup sometimes, and that's not really what this video is all about, but I didn't want to sit on the camera barefaced the whole time. So let's get into it. So I have 10 mistakes that I made during my 1L year of law school. And I mean, listen, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody's gonna, you know, have those days.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
The great prophet Hannah Montana once said. The first mistake I made in my first year of law school was carrying my bad habits over with me from undergrad into law school. I was not the greatest student in undergrad. I knew I was smart, and I knew all you have to do is pay attention in class, binge study the night before, and then regurgitate everything on the test. So that's what I did, and I got good enough grades to get into law school. Law school is not undergrad. When I was in law school, I wasn't prepared to make the changes that I had to make. Okay, so like I was saying, the first mistake that I made when I went into law school was carrying my bad habits from undergrad into law school with me. I think you can probably avoid doing that by watching videos of people who are in law school or talking to somebody who's in law school or has been to law school and figuring out what the habits that they have are or what the habits that you'll need are for law school and cultivating them before you get there. The second mistake that I made when I got into law school was I kind of fell behind in my readings. I was on top of everything for the most part, but then stuff started getting overwhelming for me. Falling behind a little bit in law school is falling behind a lot in law school. Number 3 is basically not being on top of things from the beginning. So for my first semester, I didn't get like the grades that I wanted to get. It was hard, but I was like, you know what? It's okay. In my second semester, I'm gonna kill it. Got into the second semester, and guess what happened? Guess. Just guess. I'm gonna give you some time to guess. COVID is what happened.
Man, that coronora, you ain't heard about it?
The what?
The coronora.
The what?
The coronora.
COVID happened, and then my school was like, you know what we're gonna do for you guys to help you out? You know what we're gonna do to help you out? We are going to make the grades pass fail. Pass fail means that my first semester GPA stays the same. I should have stayed on top of things from the beginning. I should have stayed on top of my readings from the beginning. So that is number 3. Number 1 was carrying the bad habits over from undergrad to law school. Number 2 was falling behind in my readings. And number 3 was not being on top of things from the beginning. The way you start off is the way you will finish. The fourth mistake that I made in my first year of law school was not setting and following a schedule early on. When you're in law school, I'm sure you've heard, if you've been watching my videos, you've heard me say setting a schedule is super important. When I first got into law school, like I said, I brought the bad habits over from undergrad. In undergrad, I would be awake at like 3 a.m. People be in my room, we'd be laughing, we'd be cutting up, you feel me? and then I would find time in the morning or whenever I had to do homework. And it doesn't work like that when you're in law school, right? So in law school, you obviously have to set a pretty rigid schedule. You have a lot of classes, a lot of things coming at you at once, especially when it's getting towards the middle of the semester. So you have less time to kind of improv and do work when you feel like it, because you're gonna miss something or you're going to miscalculate time. So you kind of need to set a schedule early on, because whoever feels like getting up and doing their work, not me. The fifth mistake that I made in my first year of law school was not taking notes when I got bored in a class. I know. You guys are gonna be like, girl, how the hell did you get into law school? Because what? Like, who does that? I do. Sometimes my brain is like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. Came to the end of the semester, and let me tell you, if I didn't have my study group, my notes were trash. I think if I were taking notes by hand, I probably would have taken more notes, especially in that class. And I started off by taking notes by hand and not having my laptop because I knew myself. But you know what? I was too weak. I did not know what was happening in the majority of that class. And like, the thing is, nobody else did either. Nobody. But if I tried my best and I tried really, really hard, I probably would have gotten a better grade in that class. Quick disclaimer, I was not checking out in every single class that I took for my first year of law school. No, there was one class that I could not pay attention in. That's 1 out of the 8 classes, so don't drag me. What I do now, especially because we started school and it's online, is if I'm bored and I feel like I'm checking out, I start practicing my typing. You feel me? Like, now I'm trying to practice how quickly I can type. So what I'm going to do is type every word the professor is saying, and do not type out everything your professor says as your regular way of taking notes. That is a very bad way of taking notes. A better way to take notes is to write down bullet points so you can understand what's happening during class. But personally, I like to train my brain to stay awake and stay involved in the class by taking transcripts of everything the professor is saying. I also think it's better to have more notes than to have no notes at all. So that's what I do when I'm starting to check out, not as a regular mode of note taking. Also, another thing I do to keep my brain awake if I'm writing my notes out is to use colorful pens, markers, and highlighters, or change from writing in print to writing in script. Those really help to wake my brain up. The sixth mistake that I made when I got into law school was not thinking about the future. So I was like on this, like, I'm just gonna take it day by day thing, and I wasn't thinking about my finals, you know. It wasn't like, oh, I'm taking notes in this class because I know when it gets to the time that I need to take my finals, these notes are going to be super helpful for me, blah, blah, blah. No, I was taking it day by day. Don't make that mistake. Think about the future. You're there for a reason, right? You have a goal. Whether your goal is to get a really great internship for that coming summer or to be the top 10% of your class, whatever that goal is, remember it. Always keep it in mind. Maybe you have like a whiteboard or something, or a vision board somewhere in your room. Put the goal up there. Put it somewhere that you can see it every day so that you remember what that goal is. The seventh mistake that I made was not outlining early at all. And this was a really stupid mistake because when you get into law school, everybody's going to tell you, make sure you start your outline early. It was a very avoidable mistake. It's not like nobody told me and I didn't know. I did not listen and I did not take people's advice. The thing that's good about starting outlining early is that, like I've said in previous videos before, and you've probably heard me say it, as you're outlining at the end of each topic in my syllabus, you know, I'm gonna outline what we talked about for the past maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, right? As I'm doing that, I'm reiterating or reinforcing the information that I was given by the professor, and I am adding on top of the information I was given before. So when I'm outlining, I'm looking through what we did this past week, this past 2 weeks, reinforcing it in my mind, and also looking back at what we learned in the last module so that I can remember it again. You feel me? So I think that that is super important, outlining early. I didn't do that, and that was really harmful for me as time went on. Along with that, I looked at other outlines before I made my own outline. This person that made this outline doesn't learn the way I learn. This outline is not in my language. right? I may not understand what this outline is saying. If I were writing the outline, I probably would have written it a different way. The 8th mistake I made was not being detailed enough. I wasn't detailed enough in my notes. Me keeping information in my mind wasn't detailed enough. I understood the concepts overall and how they related to each other, but I needed to remember case names. I need to remember, oh, this is the case in which they said that, that, and that, and it was overturned by this case, which did this, that, and that. Not this is what SMJ is and this is what PJ is. And I needed to actually know and understand in detail basically everything. And this is not true for every class, right? So civil procedure, I definitely needed to be way more detailed and do way more analysis in. Criminal law, because of my professor, I didn't have to, you know, put cases in there and do all of that, so I didn't have to be as detailed. I understood the concepts, I understood the different laws, model penal code, blah blah blah. I understood those things, so I did well on the final. I needed to be more detailed throughout the semester, not just at the end when I was studying for finals, but throughout the semester, because some of the mistakes that I made on my finals could have been avoided by being more detailed. So make sure you're detailed. Being an attorney is a profession in which you definitely need to be detailed. So not being detailed is only detrimental to you in the long run. The 9th mistake that I made in my first year of law school was not talking to enough 2Ls and 3Ls. So I knew some 2Ls and 3Ls. As I've said before, I'm a bit shy in person. Sometimes I just rather not speak. It's easier for me that way until I get more comfortable in a certain space. But I didn't speak to enough 2Ls and 3Ls in depth, right? So I could speak to 2Ls and 3Ls in passing, but I didn't speak to anyone like, hey, did you have this professor? What were they like? How did you study for their classes? No. And they could have helped me out with knowing how to study for each final and stuff like that, but I didn't ask enough. The 10th mistake that I made in my first year of law school was not being confident enough. I was paying attention too much to what other people were doing and how they were talking and how they were participating in class. And what happens to me is I get overwhelmed. If I'm paying attention to everybody else and what they're doing and how smart they are and how they're older than me and they had full careers before coming to law school and they seem so studious and they seem so this and they seem so that and they seem so knowledgeable, then I get overwhelmed. I wasn't confident in my abilities. I went to law school and I saw how smart people were and how much people, like, it's like they like to do work. I was focusing on them and not me and what I needed to do and how I needed to study. So those are the 10 mistakes. I know 10 is a lot of mistakes, but those are the 10 mistakes that I made in my first year of law school. I think this is just a basic look, you feel me? It's like, you know, I didn't even put on eyeliner, just mascara. It's that castor oil. You see that castor oil at work? Look at my girl. I'm going to give an update. I'll probably just record it right after this because I already have the makeup on and I might as well. And like I said, I started school 3 weeks ago, so I'm not gonna have the time to keep recording like this. So I think I'm gonna record that update video after this. I'll probably try to edit them both and put them up both at the same time, maybe tomorrow after some of my classes and after I do some applying to jobs and stuff. And so the update is coming. I'm also probably going to make a quick video on how to brief and another video on how to outline. I'm sure there are a few videos out there, but yeah, I'm gonna try and help y'all out too, so y'all can watch that. And I'm not an expert, but I'm gonna show you guys what worked for me. And I'm probably gonna do a vlog one of these days so you can see, because like I said, I've been going to school from home because COVID is still a thing. So I'll probably do a vlog one of these days. You guys, please let me know what you want me to do and what you want me to talk about. If you like me doing my makeup while I'm talking, let me know. If you want me to just talk and not do my makeup at the same time, let me know, because I feel like I was babbling. If you want me to do my makeup in some videos and not talk, let me know, because I will gladly do that. I know watching people do makeup is therapeutic for some people, so if you want to watch me just do my makeup, let me know. I'll make a separate playlist on my channel for that. Don't box me in, you feel me? I could do a lot of different things. And yeah, let me know what you would like for me to speak about. Like I said, I love y'all so much. Thank y'all for sticking with me, and thank you for forgiving me for being MIA for 2 weeks. I'm back though. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe and make sure you like. Help me out. Help me out. I'm trying to help you. Help me.
Help me! Help me!
Comment so YouTube can see that, you know, I'm doing something that's worth showing to other people. Love y'all. Bye.